Hello, here again. Today I'm coming to you from Nashville. Look how beautiful it is. This is my dad's house where I'm hanging out. And I thought I'd jump back on today to talk to you guys a little bit about a couple things. One, intention setting, which I've been focusing on again since I'm out of my new natural habitat of the Dominican Republic. It's given me a chance to think about what do I want, especially being back in the US. I first went to Miami and been here in Nashville for a while, and if you saw the last video, I dipped down to Memphis for a day. And a lot of people were asking me, well, how long are you going to stay in the DR, and what are you going to do next, and where are you going to live, are you coming back to the US, and all these kinds of things. And my answer is I don't really know. I'm doing what feels good in the moment. And not with zero planning, but I know for sure we'll be in the DR at least probably another year. My son will do another year of school down there, and that's going well. But there are times sometimes when people ask me, I'm like, oh my gosh, I should know. What are my plans? What are my long-term, not necessarily goals, but what do I think is going to happen in the next 5-10 years? I mean, really, who can say that? No matter what kind of a plan or life you have, you don't really know. But I thought I should begin to spend more time kind of creating what I want, which is how I got to live the way I'm living anyway. And so, of course, I have my journals with me, and I began to write in those again. And I just wanted to stress the importance of focusing on that, Don't get freaked out in life sometimes when you don't know the answer to something exactly. Who really knows all of the answers, right? But all you need to know is what you want. What do you want? How do you want to feel? How do you want to live? I had a woman write to me, I think it was this morning, and she's like, oh my God, you have such an amazing life. And I was like, yeah, I kind of do, but it's because I purposed it, you know what I mean? I chose it, and I worked on making it happen. And trust me, every day is not perfection and fabulousness. I mean, it's pretty good, I have to say, most of the time. But I worry about the same things that most people worry about, do I have enough money, and, whatever, what's going to happen next, all of that. But instead of worrying, I spend a lot less time worrying now, and I spend a lot more time focusing on what I want. And I find that brings me back to my center, to a place of balance much more quickly. It feels much better, and it helps me to really begin to create and remember that, oh yeah, I do have, a stream of income. I do have clients. I am getting new clients. Life is, or can be easy, can be what you make it. And my intention is to make it really good and fun and enjoyable as much as possible. So I'll float in the pool and do a video and talk about it. And I'm going to sip some sweet tea because I'm in Nashville. And that's what we drink in Nashville, sweet tea. I will say, though, that being here back in the U.S., oh my God, the American diet is awful. It's every fast food and crap chain is everywhere. Saw them all in Miami, here in Tennessee, of course. The portions are ridiculous. The food is so processed, and it just doesn't feel like good eating, I have to say. So, excuse me, it's a little bright. Oh wait, now I can't see it all. My shades are polarized, which is great for my eyeballs, but it means I can't really see. I just want to keep an eye on the time. I don't want to go too long. Anyway, okay, so there's that. So whatever you want to focus on what your intentions are. I'm just getting a little bit closer up to you like this. How's that? Focus on your intentions. Focus on what you want. Don't focus on what you're afraid of. You know what I mean? That doesn't make any sense. That's never any good. Focus on what you want. There's a lot of things. How are we doing here? Okay, yeah, I want to be cool and comfy, but I also want to be able to talk to you. So what is it that you want? Do you want a new type of experience? Do you want a great vacation? Do you want a new love in your life? Do you want, I don't know, a new career? Do you want to live someplace else? Do you want to be super healthy? What are the things that you want? First, you identify those things, right? We've talked about this before, people, right? And it doesn't matter if it doesn't seem like it's possible, if it doesn't seem realistic. When I left the U.S. a year and a half ago, a lot of people thought that I was being unrealistic to just leave with my child and go pretty much sight unseen. And I'd been there before, but I hadn't spent a lot of time in this little town. I had a little job, as I've shared before, but I didn't have a job making a lot of money. I didn't have a huge savings. I didn't have a lot of things that people would ordinarily say, oh, you have to have those things before you jump out there. I just decided, and I wasn't completely foolish, and I did have a plan, but I basically decided. And so don't worry about if things don't seem completely realistic or possible even. If you have an intention and you have some idea of how it could work, that's really all you need, right? And it's very individual. Someone told me in Miami, for example, a woman I was speaking to said, well, I'm not as adventurous as you, and so I love the idea of what you're doing, and I kind of would like to live vicariously through you, but I don't think I could do it. And that she's probably right. The way I live is not for everyone. Number one, everyone doesn't desire to live like I live. Some people really much prefer to stay rooted and like to have a home that they live in for 20, 30, 40 years and have the same, hometown. And, that type of consistency of experience is very soothing to a lot of people. And so I'm not trying to suggest that if you're not living in this way, there's something wrong. Everybody makes their own choices. So that's number one. But even within that, sorry, my phone's in the sun. I don't want it to get all burnt out. Even within that, though, you can decide how you would like to live, right? You can live on your same block in your same neighborhood for a long time, but still have some great experiences. So again, it's a matter of deciding how you want to live, right? Do you want to have, like, the American paradigm, I think it's shifting now finally, of having 2 weeks vacation out of 52 weeks in a year, I always thought was frankly offensive. It's beyond asinine and ridiculous. I feel like that's offensive. Like, why would I do that? Why would I commit to 52 weeks for you? I'm going to work for 50 weeks, I get 2 weeks vacation? That's nuts. I'm not doing that. So decide on what you want. Believe that it's possible, even if you don't know how, believe it, and then begin to ask for direction, right? If you believe in God or whatever you call it, the universe, or if you're, whatever your preferred method is of bringing things to pass, ask, okay, I want to live in a better place. I want to have a better relationship. I want to be healthier. Whatever those things are, ask, what can I do? What's my first step? Okay, I need to join a gym. All right, well, guess what? I'm broke. I can't afford to join a gym. Well, either you find a gym that's really cheap, or you take your butt outside and you walk around the neighborhood, or you get down on the floor in your house or wherever you live and lift your legs up, or do some sit-ups, or tune into a channel on TV that maybe, they have those kinds of things available. There's always a way. The internet is pretty much accessible to everyone these days, at least if you're in the US, it is. And so get online, find yourself an exercise routine that you find enjoyable, that you would like to do, 3, 4, 5 times a week, what have you. If you want to be healthier, decide, okay, I'm going to commit to eating something fresh every day. You don't have to say, I'm never going to eat sugar again, I'm never going to eat cheese, whatever. But decide what you are going to do. I find that that's a lot easier than what I'm not going to do. I don't like to say, I'm not going to have any more drinks. Like, that's not fun. I want to go have a drink sometimes. In fact, there's a rooftop bar here in town I want to go to, and I plan to have a drink when I go. Or maybe 2, I don't know. So, but what can I do? Well, I'm not going to not have a drink, but I will go to the gym. Or I will, instead of having fried chicken or something for dinner, I'm going to have a salad and some salmon, and you know what I'm saying? So you can make choices that are beneficial to you, but they don't feel like they're punishment. So you can still enjoy the life you want. Oh, it feels so good. So I think you get my point on that, right? By the way, I have been to the gym 3 times since I've been here. 3 times, yay for me. And swimming, and we went to the park one day. My dad was playing tennis with my son, and I did some laps around the park, and they had a little park course thing, so I tried to do some chin-ups. I was not successful at all, but I tried. So there are just ways that you can get stuff done. Okay, and I found myself, even since I've been here, kind of getting freaked out, like, oh my God, what is my plan? What is it? What am I going to do about retirement? How am I going to afford this and the other? And I was like, wait a minute. The key is when you start feeling anxious or afraid or nervous or like you don't have it together and you don't know what your plan is, that is the key that lets you know you are going in the wrong direction. Those feelings of negativity, whatever type they are, fear, doubt, worry, jealousy, someone else has it better than I do, or anything that's not a positive feeling, is letting you know you're going in the wrong direction. And so I was starting to feel kind of anxious and worried about those things. So I was like, wait, I know better than this. And so I took out my trusty journal and I began to write down, here's what I'm grateful for. Here's what I do know. Here's what is good. Even if it's not present right this moment, I do have enough of everything I need. I always am going to be fine. I'm going to, whatever. I did all that kind of stuff and boop, snap right back into like, okay, we're good. Lo and behold, I opened my email this morning and here's a, email from a prospective new client asking me some questions about my work. Do I work remotely? What do I charge? Those kinds of things. And I was like, see, even though she hasn't said, hey, I want you to work for me, it just let me know that yes, it's all fine. And then there's other things coming. So there, I got a great message from a friend this morning. It was great to know that I was being thought about. And actually, they had tried to call me, but I had my phone off last night. And I was like, I missed the call. But it was great to know that no matter where I am in the world, no matter where my friends are in the world, I'm being thought about and loved and cared for. And so that was wonderful. And it just made me, again, feel like everything's cool. So, is that good? Do you feel me, people? Do I need to keep going on with this? Stay positive. If you start feeling scared, that's your key, that you need to change your thoughts. I don't care if you may not know, like, okay, I need to focus on, how I'm going to make the money or how I'm going to have the relationship or how I'm going to lose 20 pounds or whatever. You don't have to worry about that. Focus on something that's easy to feel good about. Focus on like, okay, listen. Wait a minute. They stopped. I was going to say, can you hear the birds singing here? It's beautiful. Oh, do you hear that? It's so beautiful. Focus on something simple, like the way it makes you feel when you hear the birds singing. The sunshine on me feels wonderful right now. This water is fantastic. My bikini looks pretty good. Right? So focus on something that makes you feel good, that doesn't cost any money, doesn't require a plan. You don't have to do anything, go anywhere. But, look in the mirror and tell yourself how much you love yourself. And if you don't, you need to really, really, really do that. If you have friends in your life or family that make you feel happy and that you care about, call them, say hi, go have a meal with them, take a walk around your neighborhood, go, do something to help someone else. It doesn't matter what it is, write yourself a love letter, and think about the things that make you feel good. And these are the things that are going to change those anxious feelings, those negative feelings into something that's like, hey, you know what? Suddenly my mood's a little bit lifted. Watch something funny on TV. There's lots of things you can do. So there's no excuse to stay stuck in a rut. You have the power to change your life right now. And you start taking little steps, and then you're going to feel a little bit better and a little bit better. And then you can take bigger steps, and you'll see that it really is pretty easy to shift. And then you'll find once you get into the practice of this, the shifting is like second nature. It doesn't take a long time to go from like, oh, I feel like shit, I feel depressed, I feel like I'm worried because I'm broke or whatever the issue is, I'm lonely, to I'm about to put on something cute and go out and have a drink and flirt. Watch me, well, you know what you do when you flirt. Watch me whip, watch me nay. And then I can tell you firsthand, it works. People show up out of the woodwork, and it's fun. You don't have to commit to anything. You don't have to decide. You can just go play and have a good time in your life. And I recommend that. I recommend being playful. I recommend keeping a light attitude and just, making new friends if you can. If you're in a place where you can be social, why not? If for some reason you're not able to get out, if your health won't allow you, find a way to engage, and be careful online. That can be tricky sometimes. Strange people hang out. But so do normal people, by the way. I don't want to say anything negative against the online community, because look at us. We're online and I'm normal. Whatever that means. I'm just trying to tell you to feel good. Okay, and then one quick thing about the DR, because as you know, there's been a lot of negative press lately about the poor Dominican Republic, and I feel really terrible for the country, for the people there. I told those people they need to hook up with me and let me do some work and try to help this image, because now Steve Harvey has canceled his, what's this thing called, Sand and Soul Tour or Festival, something like that. I know some people personally who have changed their vacation plans. I was in a restaurant here in Nashville the other day, and a woman asked me, oh, you live in the DR, so what's up? And my boyfriend wants to cancel, but I still want to go. And I was like, go. there's a focus on the number of people who have, obviously met some terrible fates and had bad experiences. And I feel awful for those people, and I feel awful for the country because of this negative publicity. But there's also thousands and thousands of other people who are having a fantastic time, and nobody's talking about that. The other thing is that if you do a little research, don't believe everything you hear. If you do a little research, you will see that the DR is not on the list of like one of the most dangerous countries. I think I looked at this recently. The number one country where tourists have trouble is Mexico. Not to knock Mexico. I've been there too. It's beautiful. I had some wonderful experiences with people in Mexico. Had a great time. I would go again in a heartbeat, no problem. But statistically speaking, it's not the DR. It's Mexico. It's other places. It's like traffic accidents and all kinds of other things that happen to people. Sometimes people just do stupid stuff. Now, I'm not blaming the people who've had, the bad experiences recently, or obviously who died. I'm not trying to blame anyone, but I am saying just be mindful and consider all sides of a story. Don't just assume that, oh my God, this must be a horrific country. I mean, listen, I'm in the U.S. right now, and we all know how awful the U.S. is in terms of deaths and safety and it's like that. So take everything with a grain of salt. Do your research. Prepare yourself. Don't go out, getting your money out of the ATM, counting your money on the street. I don't care where you are, right? I wouldn't do it here. I wouldn't do it anyplace else. Be smart about things. So that's what I have to say about that. Poor little DR. I've had a wonderful time there. The people have been wonderful to me. I've had great experiences, met wonderful people, both expats and Dominicans. And, I've said this before, there are people there who would hustle you a little bit and take advantage. Yeah, of course, there are people everywhere who will do that. But by and large, I found most people to be extremely helpful, really friendly, totally willing to share what they know, point me in the right direction. If I ask for like literal directions, or if I ask for, hey, where can I go get this done, or something like that. People are trying to help me buy a car. Like I've had people who will send me, information about, well, this car, that car will help me negotiate for it. I mean, just there's so many people who are really helpful there. So give some love to the DR. And I have a friend down there too, American woman who's a travel agent. Her name is Shanna. Trip with Shan. Shout out to Trip with Shan, who does tours and like personal services. So like she's helped people who wanted to get married, surprise engagements, family reunions, girl trips, all that kind of stuff, bachelor parties. She does all that. And she is located in the Punta Cana area. So if you want to hook up with Trip with Shan, let me know. I'll put you in touch. She does great work. And investment tours. I said before, I'm still working on that. When I get back to the DR, it's not going to be till the end of August, but when I get back there, I'm going to have another conversation with the government and find out what the hell is going on. I think right now is a great time to invest because people are not going in some cases. And so, whenever there's like a negative, there's also a positive. So it's a great time to buy. It's a great time to check out investments. I had a conversation with some gentlemen from the United States before I left, and they're interested in doing some different types of business investments. So I say go for it. I say check it out. Mwah. I say have a great life. I say it's time to float. Okay, that's enough. Oh my gosh, it's so much fun to be happy. All right, you guys, have a great day. I love you. Take care. Mwah. Bye.